All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. No Lammy Chillmeister. I don't know where I put the little poor thing. Um, Today is August 16th, 2025. I got up a little early. It's my day off. Um, I may or may not be putting out several episodes today. Just depends on how I feel. Um, Went and got some gas. I needed some gas. Stopped by work. Ended up stopping by my old work at Kroger. Ended up talking to the guy who wanted my job uh, about a year ago when I was working at Kroger. It was so fucking weird too. I talked about it before. I have a buddy. His name's Gabe, Abe and Gabe. And he's from Florida too. It's kind of funny, but he was cool as hell. And like I came in one day, so this guy he worked with us before. His name was Carlos. He worked with us years ago, and me and him were super tight. Like we'd go and hang out in his truck and smoke cigarettes on smoke break. I loved the dude. He was like one of my best friends, you know. And then he left for like a year or two and came back, and like I don't know what I did. Like he like hated me. Like he would be nice and friendly to me, to my face, but then like on my days off, the days that Gabriel would work, he would be talking about like he wanted to like basically steal my fucking job, dude. And it was like annoying because it's like I don't have any special position. I was literally just a night stalker like everyone else. Um so I don't know. Well, he ended up getting my job and realizing how much my job sucked because I did like 6 or 7 aisles when there was people that working there that did like 2 aisles, you know. And had time to stand around and talk. And I could like barely get done every night pretty much. And he realized how much my job sucked, but yeah, he's got management now, and he sat there and talked to me for like probably like 20 minutes. And I don't know, like it just made me thankful that I'm not there anymore at Kroger. But at the same time, and the thing is like where I don't work there anymore, I could have like confronted him and been like, hey, you piece of shit. I knew Gabriel told me, because Gabriel doesn't work there no more. Gabriel told me you were talking shit, trying to take my fucking job on days off that I wasn't there. Like, fuck you. And I don't have to hold back anymore because I don't work here no more. But, I don't know, man. I chose the better path. And this isn't me bragging and saying, look at me, you know. It's just like, the older I've gotten, I've chilled out a lot more. Like, when I was younger and more cutthroat, I would have cussed his ass out, you know. But I was like, nah, man, fuck it. You're in a better place now. You're a better person now. Like, you don't worry about it. So I just talked to him. I don't know, man. I have that ability. I could interview the devil and just be smiling and shaking hands with him, you know, but behind his back, like, this dude's evil. Fuck this guy, you know. So I don't know. But earlier this week, I got pulled over. So I want to tell you guys about that. Sorry if the intro is long, but sometimes I like talking about my life. I've been sleeping a lot, dude, which is good. I've had a stressful week. It's been a rough week. I got pulled over earlier this week. Literally, the corner store's right there. Like, I can walk to it, but I take my car because it is like a block away, and I'm lazy. I could technically walk to it, but I just hop in the car, and they always have cops, because we live in a bad neighborhood, sitting here posted up next to the gas station. And I'm like, fuck, here we go. Because I had to get some Altoids, because I have tonsil stones and my breath stinks. It was actually kind of funny. I was at work the other day, and all I was doing was talking. And my coworker, Michael, he's my buddy, he's like, did you fart? I said, no, dude, I have tonsil stones. Like, my breath smells like shit sometimes. And he goes, what's tonsil stones? I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, yeah. But it did smell bad. Like, your breath is bad when you can smell your own breath. Um, but what was I saying? Oh, so I was getting some Altoids, and I got in the store, and I knew, I was like, as soon as I came out of the store, they were parked in a different spot, and I fucking knew. I'm like, they're gonna pull me over. So I hopped in the car, and they whip it and immediately turn on lights and siren. So I'm pretty close to my house, so I literally just keep driving, and I go, I'm going over there with my arm out the window, Hang on, my phone or computer is being weird. MSI Center, sorry. Technical difficulties. And I get pulled over, and it's a white dude on one side and then a black dude coming up on the other side. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And the black dude on this side's like, roll the window down. And I roll it down. And I'm like, what's up? And the guy to my left side, the white guy, he goes, looks over the hood of the car and goes, or roof of the car. He goes, tell him why you pulled him over. And he goes, oh, okay. Sir, I pulled you over today because it shows that you don't have insurance. And this dude's got like janky fucking teeth, like brown and broken and shit. And he's got like a really thick accent, like he's from Africa. I could tell, dude. And I'm like, oh, this dude's in training. So that's why you pulled me over. You're going to give me some bullshit excuse. But you're actually just pulling everyone over, or anyone who looks slightly shady. And I ain't going to lie, I look shady as fuck. I'm a punk. So I'm like, great, he's in training. So you guys know White Rabbit is retired. I got a new car. I need to come up with a name for it. Silver Bullet, maybe, because it is silver. Ooh, that'd be cool, and it's kind of paranormal. Silver Bullet. That's the new name. So I'm driving Silver Bullet, and I had just gotten this car. So we're still... we had done the paperwork, and we had switched over to new insurance. So I'm like, well... because my wife was playing devil's advocate at first, like, okay, so, maybe they are not updated on their end, on their paperwork and shit. And so he's like, it doesn't have insurance. I'm like, yes, it does. I said, that car right there, I said, I no longer drive. I said, this is my wife's old car. She got a new car, so I got her old car. I said, we have insurance. Everything's up to date. Okay, well, let me see it. And I have, like, stacks of envelopes. Like, I love my wife to death, but, like, anytime I get a new insurance, I immediately tear up the old one, throw it away, and keep the new one in my glove department. She has, like, stacks of insurances. I'm like, woman. So I'm like, it's one of these. So I just handed him the whole... well, first of all, I gave him the one that was in the glove department. He's like, this is old. And I'm like, okay. So he goes back to the car. I said, give me a second. And then, while they go back to the car, I just get out of my car and go in the house. And the guy's like, you can't do that. Stop. Stay in your car. I said, no, hang on. I just kind of took over. I'm like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm getting insurance. Because I was on the phone with my wife, and she's like, yeah, there's a stack of envelopes on the coffee table. So I just pull out the whole stack. And he's like, get back in your car. I said, yeah, chill. You guys are the ones pulling me over, fucking with me. So then I get back in the car, and the African dude comes back by, and he's like, I said, I got this stack. I said, you can go through it. I said, I'm not going through every single one of these. And he goes, okay. So he goes through, gets it. And they literally found it and just gave me back my shit and left. And before they left, I said, I appreciate it. Kind of being a smart ass, like, fuck you, dude. I told you everything was up to date. You just wanted to fuck with me. And you guys know me, like, I'm not like anti-cop, but I'm not like pro-pig either. You know what I mean? I'm not like Blue Lives Matter, and I'm not over here like, thank you for your service, you know. So my wife has a cop that's a regular where she works. And she asked him, she said, can you just pull behind someone, run their plates, and see if they have insurance? And the cop's like, no. Like, you have to do a little bit more digging. Like, actually, that's why they go up to the window saying license, registration, and insurance, please. Because they don't know, they can't tell if you have insurance or don't have insurance. That becomes the moment of truth. Because I've driven around with no insurance for years sometimes, sadly, when I was broke as a joke. And I did the whole, like, every time I'd get pulled over, I'd go, hang on, let me look for it. And I would just look and look and look and waste their time for, like, minutes at a time until finally they just get, don't worry about it. You know? You know? You just got to stall them. It sucks, but that's what happens when you're poor. By the way, I got a Buy Me a Coffee account set up. If you want to donate $1, that's cool. It's in the description below. So yeah, they were fucking lying, dude. They were either scoping me out and seeing that I looked kind of shady and wanted to fuck with me, or that dude was like, I think it was the latter of like, he's just in training, he's from Africa. So they're like, hey, let's get some training in, let's pull this guy over. But the thing that pissed me off, dude, is I have really bad paranoia, man. And I've been through gang stalking. I did a whole episode on it. I deleted it because of paranoia and people fucking with me in the comment section. But I've been a victim of gang stalking. You know, my dad did some shady shit and FBI was checking him out, and the cops were checking me out because they were checking him out, trying to find him, following me, pulling me over, thinking I was involved. It was a horrible time of my life. So, it pisses me off, though, because it's like, I know my rights. I'm not trying to be that guy of, I know my rights. But, like, it just pissed me off because they have to suspect a crime to pull you over. And I know they lied through their fucking teeth, and they're allowed to lie to you. Everyone has this fantasy that cops aren't allowed to fucking lie to you. It's like, that's bullshit. That's how they catch half the people they catch, because of lying. Like, never trust a fucking pig. So yeah, dude, it pissed me off. Because it's like, they are supposed to take an oath to the Constitution, and I'm supposed to be able to travel freely, for one. And two, the only time you're supposed to pull someone over is if you suspect something, if you suspect criminal activity is going on, or you know for a fact that criminal activity is going on. There's nothing criminal about me going to the corner store to get Altoids. But because of my paranoia, I'm like, I don't even want to go to fucking work. You know, I want to stay home and just play Zelda and just call in. But I ended up going to work, and I was paranoid as fuck. I hate my paranoia, but it's like, I deal with it, I struggle with it. If anyone has it, you know. And I honestly, dude, I used to not be a real paranoid motherfucker until, like I said, I was gang stalked years ago, and it kind of fucked me up, man. But yeah, I just wanted to share that my crazy week. Let's get a story in. So this is conspiracy related, and I want to talk a little bit about the channel in general. So I have 2 interviews that I'm trying to set up. So, Red Pill Paradigm, shout outs to them. I gave them a shout out. They donated $1 or $5, not $1. Sorry, I'm so used to doing my spiel. They donated $5 to my Buy Me a Coffee account. And I subscribed to them on Spotify and YouTube. You should too, because it looks like they only got like 30 episodes. So, it looks like they just kind of started out, you know. They're getting into the podcast game, which is cool. And I support small channels and shit. Mine's small as fuck. I'm not like saying theirs is like, I'm not like making fun of him or nothing. I only got 500 subs, dude, and I've been doing this for like a decade. So it's hard out there. So go support them. But I told you guys I'm a fucking idiot and a burnout sometimes. Like, they had donated money, and I was just like, okay, I'll give them a shout out, you know? And it had never crossed my mind to, like, email them, you know, and be like, hey, do you guys want to do a Swapcast episode? Or I'll interview you, you can interview me, you know, we each get an episode out of it. Like, I don't know why I'm so stupid. I'm like, I didn't fucking think about it. So I did end up getting back in touch with them, which is awesome. I gave them my phone number. I haven't received a text yet. I've been behind. I've just been busy with work. I'm going to check my emails today, see what's going on. So that's a possible interview coming up with Red Pill Paradigm, which is awesome. And then I have another interview I'm trying to set up, which is promising. So there's this dude where I work at the gas station, and he comes in, and he's kind of like a metalhead. Like, obviously I can tell he's a metalhead. He's a big, stout dude, long hair. He gives off the vibes of being a metalhead. And he's like, me and him just start talking, and he's a chef at a movie tavern, which is right up the road from us. I love movie tavern. It's literally, you can drink beer while watching a movie. You can eat actual food, not just popcorn. It's pretty fucking dope. They have like recliners that literally recline and shit. It's the best movie theaters I've ever been to. Marcus Theaters, go check them out. But he works there, and we were talking just about movies and shit, and he's like, yeah, I'm an actor. And I'm like, no fucking way. And he's played in like multiple films. He does like horror only. He's got one movie coming out, and I could be wrong, but I think he said it was called like Teddy or something like that. And it's kind of like in the style of Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh, which I love goofy horror movies. I watched Blood and Honey, and I thought it was fucking awesome. So it will be like a Blue Pill podcast episode, but I talked to him. I gave him my number. We exchanged numbers. I was like, hey, man, I said, is it cool? I have a podcast. Do you care if I interview you? And immediately he's like, hell yeah, dude. And I'm like, I don't really have that big of a following. I said, but it would hopefully help your career. Like, if my channel ever did blow up, people could find that episode and listen to it and be like, I'll check this guy out, you know? But yeah, he wants to come on and do an interview, so I'm gonna talk to him. Hopefully, yeah, that'll be fucking cool, man. All right, let's get on with the story. Oh, but what I was gonna say, it'll be like a Blue Pill podcast episode probably, and we're just gonna talk horror movies. We're gonna talk about the movies and films that he's been in. Maybe like, because he's met some famous actors and actresses and worked with them. So it's like, yeah, it's just going to be like, if you're a cinephile and a fan of horror movies, it'll just be probably strictly that. I doubt we'll get into conspiracies, because every time that I've talked to him, all we've talked about is horror movies, which I'm a huge fan of. So we may dabble in that direction, but that's not going to be my main focus. It's going to be just kind of a Blue Pill podcast episode. So hopefully 2 interviews coming up. Look forward to that. So let's get on with the story. So last episode we did kind of a fun conspiracy episode, and I told you guys that I am not going to shut up about the Epstein shit, because I think that we need to not forget this shit. So we are in an info war, and this got brought to my attention with the whole Epstein shit from Asmon Gold. I'm a fan, shout outs to him. Go check him out, tell him who sent you, maybe he'll give me a shout out. I don't know. He seems pretty cool. I've been watching his stuff and keeping up. I subbed to him like a couple months back. I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but I watched him a while, and I'm like, okay, he's cool. I like him. Um, he brought it to my attention that apparently they're even writing articles on it. This is The Hill saying CNN analyst says Americans have lost interest in the Epstein case, calls saga a nothing burger, rising. So we cannot, I'm not trying to sound cliche, but never forget. We cannot forget this shit. And I don't know, man. My thing is like, because it's a CNN analyst, obviously CNN is fake news as fuck. But it's still concerning to me because they were showing like graphs and shit and statistics, and Asmongold was showing that the algorithm is showing that people are actually not really clicking on the Epstein shit as much as like I think they should be. Now this does come down to also though, like, you gotta take breaks from this story because for one, there's only so many updates going on with this shit. I'm actually gonna do kind of like episodes on older shit that has happened. For one, because I haven't spoke about certain things. Like, I have plenty to talk about the Epstein shit of shit that I haven't said before. So, obviously, you guys know me. I try not to rehash shit. But, yeah, there's going to be stuff that I'm going to talk about that I haven't talked about before because I don't want us to forget. And, even if the algorithm is showing that people are losing interest in this case, I am of the belief that we do not need to stop talking about this. Sorry, because if we lose interest, if we stop talking about it, it's all going to get swept under the rug. Thankfully, from my experience, because I subscribe to right-wing YouTubers, but I also subscribe to left wing because I don't want to be caught in an echo chamber and I want to hear every side of the story, which I insist that people also do. I've been seeing from like comment sections on like YouTubers' posts, like pro-Trump shit, and like every fucking comment is like, release the files, I don't give a fuck, you know, fuck Trump. I'm like, dude, Trump, and I said this, you know, several Epstein episodes back. By the way, I have a playlist. Go check it out if you're interested in the Epstein stuff. It keeps getting bigger because I'm not going to shut up about it. I am going to try to, like, still mix in fun conspiracy shit, but the way I've been trying to do it lately is every other episode's been about Epstein. That's how I'm trying to do it. Because it's like, I'm not going to shut up, dude. And we need to not shut up about it. Because apparently, if this article's true, people are losing interest, man. And we need to not forget this shit. Because they're going to sweep it under the rug. We need to keep bringing it up. We need to keep talking about it. And not stop talking about it. I will be that crazy person like the JFK people. Talking about JFK's assassination. Bill Hicks had a joke of his buddy going, you know, are you still talking about JFK? That was like 30 years ago. Who cares, man? You know? No. And I'll never stop talking about 9/11. Also. Robbie Suave. That is a good last name. I ain't gonna lie. And Lindsey Granger discuss a new CNN poll that suggests that Epstein saga is becoming a political dud and a nothing burger. A political dud? What does that even fucking mean, man? Alright, so I just found it on here. Apparently there's no article, it's just a video. But I'm gonna play it in just commentary.
The Epstein saga is becoming a political dud and a nothing burger, says CNN data guru Harry Enton. For instance, Google searches for Epstein-related information are down 89% from just 3 weeks ago. Here's Enton explaining the situation.
What am I talking about here?
Which is wild.
This
has been for 3 weeks.
Exactly. Take a look here. Google searches for Epstein down 89% versus just 3 weeks ago. Falling through the floor. It is no longer the top term searched alongside Donald Trump's name. That's been trading off between Taros and Vladimir Putin, with obviously the meeting coming up later this week. But at this particular point, the American people's interest in this story, it's quickly becoming something of a nothing burger.
Enton also suggested that Trump's approval rating is still holding steady and Americans have lost interest in the Epstein case. Let's take a listen.
Now, like I said, dude, this is all news. We're in an info war. This could be propaganda of like, see, everyone else is not, no one cares anymore about the Epstein shit, you know? Like, you shouldn't care either. If these statistics are reality, though, that bothers me, because you can actually look up, Asmongold did it, you can look up trends of like what people are Googling. Those numbers could be rigged too, obviously, but I've always found them to be accurate throughout my experience of what people are Googling at certain times, you know. And he even showed the graph, dude, like it's dropped like tremendously, 89%. Asmongold showed it, not this guy. So I'm not saying like I know this Asmongold, I just found his channel, but he seems okay. That's concerning to me. People are fucking goldfish. That might be what I name this episode. People are goldfish. It's like, I don't think people understand the importance of like, we need to not forget this. We need to not move on from this issue. We need to keep bringing this issue up. I'm going to keep doing it, even if, because that's another thing too, like, a lot of people say, oh, you're doing this for views. Well, yeah, I want this channel to be successful. But even if it hurts my channel talking about this shit, I'm going to keep doing it, because at the end of the day, I have a moral compass, and I need to put what I know out there, and I'm going to continue to talk about this shit, because I don't know. Maybe I'm just overreacting, but I seriously, it concerns me that people are already letting this go. And Trump's approval rating is still okay. I'm not seeing it, like I said earlier, in the comment sections. I'm seeing a lot of people go, fuck this dude. You know? But, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overreacting, but it's just concerning to me, and I wanted to talk about it.
Trump's approval rating in July of 2025, it was 45%. It's still well within that margin of error here at 44%, and you compare that to where he was in his first term at this point. He was at 37%, so he's 7 points higher, very much in a different political universe now.
So in 2017, he was 37% approval rating. 2025, he jumped up to 45. He's only dropped 1% of approval rating from how he's handling the Epstein shit, if these statistics are real.
Significantly higher in terms of his overall approval rating than he was at this point in his first term. 0 respondents said that the Epstein case was the top issue. How about among independents? 0 independents said that. And among Republicans, and therefore overall, just a single one.
Meanwhile, a federal judge in New York rejected a request by the Justice Department to unseal grand jury transcripts from an investigation into Ghislaine Maxwell. The judge, Paul Engelmayer, wrote about his decision, quote, "It's an entire premise that the Maxwell grand jury materials would bring to light meaningful new information about Epstein and Maxwell's crimes, or the government's investigation into them, is demonstrably false." Engelmayer added the Justice Department was being, quote, "disingenuous in making that argument for disclosure." Justice Department, so why don't you release your documents that you have in your possession, like the Treasury Department documents, so we can follow the money. I don't care about a Google search. Obviously, this is not the #1 issue for Americans. Americans are trying to buy groceries for their family and children, like I am, trying to enjoy their life, trying to negotiate their rent like you are when it goes up.
Okay, I understand what she's saying. Yeah, we are focused on our life. And trust me, I am still focused on my life. But a global child trafficking ring is very concerning to me. And the way I'm seeing it, it's looking like everyone's fucking involved. All of them, allegedly, are fucking chomos. That's not concerning to anyone? I don't know, man. I just wanted to talk about that. I'm going to probably put out several more episodes today because I'm in the podcasting mood. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what you guys think. And are you guys going to let this go? Are you guys going to forget this shit? And, yeah. Have a good day.